So here we go. 1 week to full-time van life. So today's day 2 of moving out, and there's 5 days left. As you can see, there's still lots of stuff in here. It's like 7:30 in the evening and I haven't done anything today. Girlfriend's looking a little rough. Hello, this is Ashley with Slowdown Sunshine. We just got in. It's 1 a.m. from 19 day trip to the Dominican Republic to see Rosie's family. It was great, and now we're back at my dad's house, and while we were gone, we found out that we have to be out of the house by July 1st. This property's been up for sale for quite a while, and the sale has been in the works for quite a while, and we got word while we were gone that the closing date is July 1st, which means we have 1 week to get out of here. So here we go. 1 week to full-time van life, taking you guys along with us. It starts tomorrow because we're gonna go to bed and get some sleep. Oh my god, the cat's rubbing my hand while I'm holding the phone. So we start tomorrow. Let's do this. Good morning. It's still morning. It's 11:30. Slept as long as my cat would allow. It's all starting to sink in. But I feel good, I feel calm, and totally like, let's do this, you know? Like, let's figure this out. We got literally a week to get out of the house. So, a little bit of backstory. I sold my house. I moved out of my house about a year ago. I moved into this house because this is my dad's house and it was vacant. It had been sitting here vacant for a couple of years. So it was meant to be just a temporary landing place while I was selling my house. Rosie and I traveled most of the fall of 2020 through September and October, and we came back for the holidays with full intentions of traveling again in our van in early 2021. I stuck around for some birthdays. There's a lot of birthdays right around the end of January, the beginning of February, and it was January 28th when Rosie broke her leg, and I had already had plans to go to South Carolina. We were gonna be in the van in South Carolina for like 5 or 6 weeks. I had set up a workaway. It was gonna be my first experience with workaway. It was a farm near the beach, and it was gonna be awesome. And then I have another family that I know through family friends that they have a big piece of property, and we were gonna hang out with them for a couple of weeks and then just kind of play the rest of it by ear. But of course, with broken leg, it would have been really difficult to be in the van. So totally took advantage of having this house, having this space. Yeah, you know, things happen, life happens. So I was just really thankful to have this house to be able to do that in. And had we been on the road, you know, we would have gotten an Airbnb, because you can rent Airbnbs for months at a time, and it would have been fine too, or made it back home in whatever way to stay with family. So it was, you know, there's always more options than we think. It was never meant to be here long term. And then around March is when we scheduled our trip to the Dominican Republic with all of the rest of Rosie's family. Her dad was gonna be there, all of her sisters, her brother, everyone was gonna be there. So we took advantage of that situation to go there as well. And that was gonna be most of June. We just got back last night, like I said. So we've been down there for a little over 2 weeks, and that was a wonderful visit, and I've got all kinds of videos for that too. So now we're here, and we've been in this house for about a year, and even though when I moved out of my house, I purged so much stuff. I sold pretty much all of our furniture. I'd lost count. I started counting. I think I took like 15 or 16 loads of stuff to the Goodwill or the consignment store or whatever. So we literally purged like almost everything, like 90% of our belongings. But living in a big space for a year, you start to accumulate more. It just happens. So Rosie has a ton of toys. We have way more clothes than we need. We still have like the little bit of stuff that I did keep. You know, I have a couple of like chairs that I love. There's a couple of things that I want to keep. So I need a small storage space. So like that's number one right now, is to find a storage space. Another option would be to like buy an enclosed trailer to store everything in, because that would be enough space too. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to keep things. I feel like when people set out onto van life, like they feel like I have to get rid of everything. And you don't have to. There's no rules to this. It's whatever works for you, you know? So like I have some things that I do want to keep, so I just have to deal with that. I have to find a place to store them. And I may come back in a couple of months and be like, you know what, I don't want this stuff, and then get rid of it then. But it's all fine, you know, we all walk our own individual path. I guess that would be tip number one, is to like listen to yourself, listen to your heart, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, whatever you like to call it, and do what's best for you, and don't worry about like what other people will think, ever. If I had the situation where this was available, like all of my stuff could fit like in a small corner of someone's basement. So, you know, if my dad or my sister or someone else that I knew had space for that, that's what I do, you know? And like, I feel like most people have that situation. And if you don't, like a really small storage unit is not a lot of money. If there's stuff you want to keep, like that really, you know, like causes you physical pain to get rid of, or like that you're like, oh, I don't want to let that go, or I might want that, or like, you know, what if in a year I'm done with the van and I want to live in an apartment or a house or whatever again, I'm gonna want this stuff. You know, a lot of things can be easily replaced, and then there's some things that can't be. So do what works for you. So that's number one, is finding a place to put all this stuff, because until I know that, I can't really do a whole lot. Let's get this going. So we are in the late afternoon of day one of getting out of the house and full-time van life. I have a storage unit set up. It's right down the street, which is perfect. It is $129 a month. But that's okay, because it's not forever, and that's what I need right now. It's right down the street, super convenient. I got my car listed, so my other car that's right over there, I got it listed to be sold because it's just me and Rosie, and she can't drive yet. So there's no need for us to have the two cars. I've been planning to sell it forever and just hadn't put it up for sale yet. So that got done today too. So from the house side, I keep this tote and keep that right there so it can slide in and out. And that's where I keep big things that I need to be somewhat available from inside instead of from outside. Before I kept like my vacuum cleaner in there, our tent, and other things. And I'm sure that that will change as we get going again this time. And let's go take a look from the back. I've got these two totes. So like this is a really big one. Really big, long, and tall. It's got stuff that I had in there from before, and I'll need to redo that here soon. But I also have this one on the bottom that is the same length, and it's on rollers, and it's empty right now because I bought it a long time ago because I knew it would fit in that space, but I never packed it. And Rosie told me today that she wants to fill that with her toys, and that may actually work pretty good, because then I can have the totes that I normally keep up in the front with her toys that we play with while we're in there, and then like extra stuff can be in that one, so that when we're in a spot we can just pull that out. That would actually work out pretty good. I've got this whole other side right here that I've been trying to figure out. If I use these totes that I have, these green totes, I could get 8 in here. So those 2 plus the 2 on top of those, and then 2 sits right here, stacked double high. That would be 8 totes. That's a lot of space. I don't know. I don't even know what I would put into that, honestly. I've been thinking about getting like a really small carry-on suitcase to store like out of season clothing in, so that we have, you know, coats and sweaters and things like that, but it's not up here where we don't need it right now. And then also, you know, say that we're in Colorado and we need to fly home for something. I have another duffel in here, but then, you know, duffels you have to like carry, and I've got a toddler. So something with rollers I think would be a good thing for us to have. That's kind of the end of day one, getting a grasp on exactly what I can fit into my van, so that as I'm going through stuff, I know where things will go and how much I can take with me, and then getting rid of everything else. So tomorrow my plan is to get my van mattress into the house so that I can flip the Murphy bed up and be able to use this whole space to move stuff to my storage unit, starting with my real bed, my real mattress, because that is the biggest item that I have. So that is my plan for tomorrow, and we'll see you on day 2. So today's day 2 of moving out, and there's 5 days left, starting tomorrow, like not including today. So, as you can see, there's still lots of stuff in here. A lot of decorations still from Rosie's birthday. Anyway, today the traveling caught up with me and I was just exhausted. So I rested, because when your body says to rest, if you can, and you almost always can, it's better to just rest and get your strength back, get your energy back, and then do whatever it is that you need to do. So I haven't done anything today that was on my list, my plans, my goals for the day. It's almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but you know what? It doesn't get dark until 10, so I got 5 more hours of light. I got my car down by the road to sell. I'm gonna go inside and make some signs for it saying for sale and miles and price and all that good stuff. And let's see if we can get my mattress, I don't have a bed, my mattress into the storage unit today. And some of the stuff that's in this garage right here. So my tip 2 for moving and purging and van life prep, etc., whatever situation you may be in, is to rest. It can all be a very stressful situation, and if your body is saying rest, you will get much more benefit from listening to your body and giving your body what it needs in terms of rest, to then be able to tackle with much more energy and much more excitement and tackle everything better once you're rested and once you're feeling better. Because no one benefits from you punishing yourself. No one benefits from you pushing through and, oh, I don't need to rest, I don't have time to rest, and that kind of stuff. What do you think, babe?
You sure this is the place?
I am sure this is the place. Okay, here we are. I've never had a storage unit before, so I didn't really know what to expect. But I guess this is it. A lot bigger than I thought it would be. I don't think I'll have any trouble at all fitting everything that I have in this space. That's cool. So it's day 3 of moving out of this house, and there's 4 days left. It's like 7:30 in the evening, and I haven't done anything today because I had a migraine. So I let myself rest through it. You know, like I explained yesterday, and this is the first migraine that I've had since January. And when I used to get them like every 3 to 4 weeks, having one in 6 months is pretty damn good. And there was just a lot of factors that went into it, with the international travel, not being able to have access to food and water that I need to really fuel my body, the tiredness that comes from travel, and stress of needing to be out of here and everything. So it was just a lot of stuff on top. I could have powered through it and prolonged everything. I could have been total victim to, oh, I have got a migraine and I've got all this going on and I don't know what I'm going to do. Catastrophized it, or I could just sleep on the couch until it goes away. So that's what I did. I slept, fed myself without having to cook, drank a bunch of water. So it's still there, but I'm starting to feel better. In this garage, as you can see here, this stuff over here, that's my stuff. The rest of the stuff is my dad's, except for these awesome lamps right here. Those are mine because they're freaking awesome. So I'm gonna see if I can get this stuff into the van and then into the storage unit tonight to accomplish something today. Home sweet home. Okay, well, that's the end of this day. So we got most everything out of the garage. There's just some totes left in there that aren't full yet, so I'm gonna fill them up with stuff that's in the house now, and we'll continue tomorrow. I'm already like a third of the way there, maybe. See you in the morning. Welcome to day 4, T-minus 3 days. As I start to really look around the house here, I'm thinking about, I guess really tip number 3 is that go with the flow. Go with what feels right to you in that moment, in the moment when you're having to do it, referring to packing and purging and all that kind of stuff, because your experience is unique. And I believe this kind of connects to my tip number 1. We see these videos on YouTube and Instagram, people like purging everything down to, you know, something that can fit in the trunk of their car. And that's great. That's great for them if that works for them. But don't feel like you have to do that to like be a real van life or anything like that. Live your life. Live what makes sense to you. For me, I have purged down a lot, and I would really like to more at this moment. And I don't have a whole lot of time till I need to get out of here. So the fact that I've got this large storage unit, for me anyway, a large storage unit is giving me some freedom right now to let go of that decision-making process of like, does this go? Does this stay? That's a whole nother chunk of time, of steps, of decision-making that I don't need to do right now because I've got this storage unit. You know, like with Rosie's toys, like we can decide which ponies we want to take with us right now, which Barbies we want to take with us right now, and then just put the rest in the storage unit. And when we're through here visiting our family again, we can swap stuff out. When in the future we have another house, we'll have all that stuff too, and we can choose to get rid of it then or whenever. There are no rules here, you know, there's no external validation that you need about anything. Do what feels right for you and what makes sense to you in every moment, really. That's freedom, right? Yeah, the storage unit I've got is way bigger than I need, but the next size down was literally like a closet, and it wouldn't have been big enough. Do what feels right for you, and that's all that matters. So I've arrived at my next tip. Keep track of your phone. It's so easy to lay it down, so easy for it to end up in a box. I was for sure it was in one of those boxes, over there. Super easy to lose your phone. So like, turn the ringer on so that in the event you do lose it, that you can actually find it, because mine's always on silent, not even vibrate, but just silent. So I would literally never, ever find it by calling it anyway. Keep it in your pocket or something. Keep track of your phone. I know that I'm gonna keep it in my pocket from now on, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the ringer just in case, right? Just in case. I have made some progress, packed up my office. What I think I'm gonna do is actually gonna take my whole desk the way it is. It does break down, but I also think I can take it with it as it is, all put together, because then I can like set up my office stuff in there to where it's accessible to me if I need to get to stuff, instead of all of that stuff being in a box someplace that like I'm not sure which box it is and all that kind of stuff, to like just keep all of it accessible for me. I've also like taken down everything off the walls. I've moved out all of this stuff. It needs to go in the boxes that are outside in the garage that are not full. I've moved out a bunch of stuff here onto the deck that needs to make its way into the van and then into the storage unit. Made a lot of progress today. So guess what just happened? The last time that she was on it, she was still struggling a little bit to reach the pedals. It's still a little bit too tall for her, but now we got to figure out a way to mount it on the van. Yay! Good job, babe. So this is starting to take shape here. I brought the bookshelf, so I've got my own little library here, because a good like 75% of these books I've never read, so that when I'm through here, I can swing by the storage unit and swap out books that I already own. The middle shelf will be Rosie books. Now it's just to get this a little bit more organized, and there's really not a whole lot more to come in here other than kitchen stuff, extra toys, and extra clothes, and that's really about it. So we're doing really good, and there's a ton of room in here. 3 more days. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think we'll be a-okay to get going. Hello! Welcome to day 5 and T-minus 2 days. I didn't have like a solid plan today. You know, like all the other days I've been like, I want to get this moved, and I want to get this moved, and I want to get this moved. So today I've just kind of been sprinkling around a little bit. There are a couple of things, like my little thing right there that needs to be moved, and there are some like files of like paperwork that I still need to keep. It's not even about time. I've had time. I knew it was coming. It was just something that wasn't a priority for me. But like another option would have been to get all that stuff scanned and saved as PDFs, and then like shred all the paper, right? Because then that would get rid of all that. There's also quite a few boxes of photos, like old photos, like from before, you know, camera phones and digital cameras and stuff that I also could have gotten scanned and then like just gotten rid of them, but I didn't. So like if you really narrow on space, there are always more options, right? So I guess that would be tip number 5. You know, if you've got paperwork and if you've got photos and you've got like, you know, your kids' artwork or, you know, whatever, like paper things like memories and stuff like that that you want to keep, there are other ways. You know, you can buy a scanner, you could do it yourself. That'll take a lot of time. That's not something that I'm interested in doing. There are also services that do where you like ship it off and they do it all for you and they bring it back, and there's probably so many more options in between that I don't even know about because again, it wasn't something that I made a priority in any way. I'm just gonna keep all the stuff. The paperwork specifically, like I think I have to, it's, you know, the 7-year rule or whatever about business stuff. And the photos, I kind of like, you know, physical photos. It's different than looking through a phone or Facebook or computer, you know? Anyway, so today I've started tackling Rosie's toys. I've already got an entire trash bag of stuff to take to the Goodwill, and I've gotten like a trash bag of trash thrown out. So I've got a pile here of like things that I want to keep, but that I don't want to keep in the van yet. So they're like nicer stuff that she's not quite old enough to enjoy, and some stuff that we're just not ready to play with. And then like this basket over here is stuff that I do at this point. It's in the to go in the van pile. I do have some boxes that need to get into the storage place today. I've got like a whole slew of library books from our last library trip that we did a Rosie Adventure Time video about. So I need to get all those books back there, and there's a handful of other things that are just moving about. So just kind of making progress in multiple areas today. I told Rosie that she could take 5. She could take 5 Barbies in the van with us, and everything else we're just gonna put in storage for now. Here we are at the storage unit again. Right there. This is the last of like stuff that gets stored. I also have a bunch of stuff to drop off at the Goodwill, but the Goodwill's already closed. So I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow for that. So let's just get this stuff in here, right? I got my desk stuff here. I'm not quite ready to decide like what all I need to bring with me for my work. I just moved it all in there because I'm not gonna be working for the next couple of days, and once we're all out of the house I can swing back by here and decide what I need to take with me, and then we'll be back around here about halfway through July anyway, so I can reassess everything that I need to have with me. Then we still have a ton of room. I've got kitchen stuff to bring in here and whatever clothes and toys we're not bringing, but I know it's not going to fill up that space, so that's good. Tonight I'm going to start going through our clothes, divvy things up into the container that they're going to go in, into the van. Let's get this ball rolling still, roll it even further. Hi, welcome to day whatever, T minus, I don't know how many days left. As I was just standing here, like looking at the mess of stuff that's still here, and like that it's 2:30 I think, and just kind of like feeling some lack of motivation and like I don't know what to do next. Rosie said, "Mom, can I have some pancakes?" And I was like, "Yep." With syrup? Yep, sure. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Some pancakes. Tip number whatever number we're on now. Yeah, I don't know that I really have a tip right now. Let's just make some pancakes. Hello. I don't know what day we're on. I didn't do a whole lot yesterday, and that's okay. But we just took like almost a whole van full of stuff to the Goodwill, which is great. It was mostly toys. She didn't really notice. So I've got a few things to go into the storage unit now.
I'm mad at you.
You're mad at me? What are you mad at me for?
I like this two stuff.
I know, they're going into storage. Girlfriend's looking a little rough. They're just going into storage, baby.
No, I want to play with some.
I know. That's why we're keeping them, so you can play with them again another day. but there's not enough room in the van for all of them.
We can just take one.
Well, we're taking the castle. We're gonna take the castle with us.
I don't want to take the kind of one.
Which one would you rather take?
I don't like this one.
Which one?
This one like
You want to take this instead of the castle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll put it into storage right now, and then we will swap them later. Okay?
But we have another castle at home.
Yeah, that's why it's still at home, because it was going to go into the van with us. We only have one spot for a big plastic item. Okay? But if you want to take the Barbie suitcase thingy, that's fine. But we'll just have to leave the castle here in storage then, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Mom?
Yes.
I really like this because it has like a door, but I don't want it.
Okay. It has been a little difficult to... I mean, I've been very open and honest with Rosie about like what's going on. That we're moving into the van for now, and that we're keeping the storage unit of stuff that we want to keep for later on when we move into a house again, and that there's other stuff that we are getting rid of. But the concept of like storage seems a little difficult for her to grasp, which maybe it is. And you know, I mean, really the concept of storage, I mean, I'm using it in this manner, but so many people use it in so many different ways. I don't have a tip today, and we're nearing the end of this this endeavor, and I'm ready. We still don't have like a set 100% closing date, because I guess it was not actually the first. Long story, doesn't matter. I don't have a set plan yet for meeting up with the people that are taking my cat, so there's still lots of question marks at the moment, but I know it'll all work out and everything will be fine. Dad did mention to me this morning that he's coming tomorrow to get the refrigerator, which is kind of a big deal. So it's a big freighter.
And he needs help with it.
That's true. He does need help with it. And I also acquired a yellow piano yesterday. It's really cool. It's a yellow piano and it works. It's a player piano, so it'll play by itself, or we can play it. It needs to be tuned. It's been in my dad's basement for years, and I've looked at it for years because it's a bright yellow and it's really cool. Yesterday morning, because he's like throwing away like the dumpster. There's a dumpster in our driveway and it's full of stuff. Yeah, it's trash now. And I was like, what are we gonna do with that? And he was like, oh, I'll put it on Facebook or something, find someone to buy it. And I was like, yeah, you know, someone's gonna want that. Like, it would be really cool in a cafe or a bar, or, you know, someplace like that. So then I got to thinking about how my intentions are to ultimately buy a house that I rent out in Airbnb, and how cool a bright yellow piano would be in an Airbnb house. I can call it the Yellow Piano House. Hi, it's still Tuesday, so you saw us get the piano and my grill in to the storage unit. So the storage unit's pretty good now. All that's left that'll go in there is what we don't take in the van with us, which will be more right now, because when we leave in a couple of days, we'll be taking the cat to his new home. He's right there. He's taking me. So I'll need like his cat box and his stuff, so he'll take up some room. So when we come back here to the storage unit, the van won't really be set up for like another 2-3 weeks. End of July the van will be really solid set up, because we'll be leaving. So now it's the evening and I'm getting started on the closet. I had a pile of laundry down there that I needed to like fold before I could assess what's coming, what's going, what's really going, and, you know, things like that. Let's get this clothes situation figured out. Oh, well, hello there. So today is June 30th. This is the day I had planned to be out of here, and as the week went on, it was clear that the closing date of July 1st was not a scheduled, set in stone event yet, and that there were still lots of questions up in the air. And we got word this morning that the actual closing is actually 100% scheduled for July 8th now. So, all the anxiety that I was feeling last night around all the things that are still left to do here has been relieved a little bit. Now, I'm not going to stick around until July 8th. That does give me a little bit more wiggle room to finish up what I have left to do in a better way, a less rushed way, a more thought out way, and to actually get the van more set up how I want it now, instead of having to do that later in the middle of July outside of a storage unit. So with that information for today, I'm gonna wrap up this vlog of being out in a week, which didn't turn out to be being out in a week. I hope you've enjoyed coming along on this week-long journey, which has been, a lot has happened. We've accomplished a lot, and it's gone by really fast. From here on out, it really will be kind of downsizing specific things to go into the van, which is kind of a whole different topic, so it actually works out perfectly. But if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already to our channel. It really helps us out, and we love hearing from new viewers. So thank you for watching.